welcome back again to PROMECONS. I believe that this is not the first time you're coming to this channel, but if this is your first time, please make sure you click the subscription button on your left bottom or on the right bottom of your screen. You can see the subscription button, the subscribed there, and click the subscription button because this channel is going to help you. And please, if you are actually new, go back, or after watching this video, go to the channel itself. You will see other videos there having as much lectures as you want, so you can learn something from there. So guys, I'm Ngum Promise, and as I usually say, and this channel is PROMECONS. You can actually help you as far as economics is concerned. Okay, today we're going to revise in a past this question on the June 2015, and it's on the demand and supply. I know many of you hate the topic, but please, the only one thing I can tell you guys is do not hate a topic. You do not know where a question might come from in that topic. Yes, it's true that not everything about the topic is difficult. In fact, nothing is difficult about the topic. But it's just a belief. Just a belief that's making us to hate the topic. So even if the cheapest question comes under the topic and you already hate it and you already put at the back of your mind that you are not going to answer, you won't be able to answer. So please free up your mind. There's nothing in demand and supply. It's very simple to understand. So today we're going to be working on a question: how do the forces of demand and supply determine the prices of a product, or the price of a product in a free market? We should explain why the quantity demand of a product tends to rise as price falls. Let's get to the answer straight. Okay, we know the first thing we have to start by defining the keyword in the question. In the question, I've heard demand, I've heard free market, so I need to tell the examiner what a free market is. I need to tell the examiner what demand is. So we say a free market is a market where the resources are allocated by the market forces of demand and supply without government intervention. I believe we know that. A free market is that market that the government does not intervene in, and resources are allocated based on the market forces of demand and supply. So it is true what is demanded and what is supplied that we know how to best allocate resources in an economy efficiently in a free market. From there, also define what demand is. We say demand refers to the quantity of goods and services that consumers are willing and they are also able to pay at a given price, while supply is a quantity of goods and services that producers are willing and able to sell at a given price. Now, we've seen that in the free market, the resources are allocated by the demand and supply. So what is demand? What is supply? As we've seen there, the price of a product is determined where quantity demanded equal to quantity supply, or when the demand and supply curve meet or intersect. This is shown below. Okay, remember our first purpose in the first part of the question, or in the A part of the question, was to show how prices of goods and services are determined in a free market. Yes. So we are saying here that prices of goods and services are determined where there is an interaction, where there is an intersection between demand and supply, where demand equal to supply, where quantity demanded equal to quantity supply in a free market. The price of a product is determined there. What is the price that producers are selling? What is the price that consumers are willing to buy? At that equilibrium point, it is the market price. It is the price of the product that should prevail. So let's look at the graph, guys. Yeah. On the vertical axis, I have price. On the horizontal axis, I have quantity. You can find zero where it is. And you can see the supply curve. We slope downward from right to left. You can see the demand curve. We slope downward from left to right. you can see the equilibrium point indicated by E. That's equilibrium point. You can see equilibrium price, PE, that's the price of the product. And the price of the product is determined where quantity demanded, where demand equal to supply, where they intersect at point E. Now the equilibrium price is what PE and the equilibrium quantity is QE. Let's look at the explanation here. From the graph above, PE is the equilibrium price where quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied at point E. The equilibrium quantity is at QE. If the price increase above PE, that's the equilibrium price, few buyers will be willing to buy and suppliers will be willing to increase supply, resulting to what? Excess supply. So any price above PE shows a higher price and will discourage consumers from buying more, which will lead to what? Excess supply over demand. Any price below PE will lead to what? Will encourage producers. Now, any price below PE will encourage consumers to demand for more since the price is low. So it will lead to what? Excess demand over supply. So the price of the product is good or is perfect at the point PE where quantity demand is equal to what? Quantity supply. That is what this explanation is trying to tell you. This will lead to what? Automatic readjustment as suppliers will be forced to bring down the price until PE is obtained. That's what we are talking about. Okay, quantity demanded for a product tends to rise as price falls due to the following reason. Yeah, we are already talking about the big part of the question already. Now they will ask you, why do a normal demand curve slope downward from left to right? They will ask you, why do people prefer to buy more when the price is low? They will ask you, what is the first reason? What is the reason for the first law of demand and supply? Explain the reasons for the normal demand curve. These are all ways through which they can ask you this question. Why do quantity demanded for a product tends to rise as price falls? Reasons why in normal demand curve slope downward from left to right. Reasons for the first law of demand and supply. Reason for a normal demand curve. Okay, let's get to the answer. The first point is the income effect or the real income effect. First thing, what do we mean by real income? Income in terms of goods and services. So when the price of a particular product falls, or the price of other products remaining constant, the real income of consumer increases, which enable them to buy more of that product than before. Okay, initially you're buying a product for 500 francs, and it means that with 2,000 francs, with 1,000 francs, you can buy 2 products. If the price of the product falls to 250 francs, your real income will increase. Why? Because now with that 1,000 francs, you can not only buy 2 that you used to buy, but you can now buy 4. Why? Because our real income has increased. That's what we're talking about here. Because when the price of a product falls, your real income increases. Our real income increases. It is but normal that you are going to increase demand. That shows that what more is demanded when the price is low. More is demanded when the price is low. It explains the first law of demand and supply. And also when the price falls, it attracts low income earners who could not afford more that when prices were high. Yes, imagine somebody that could not buy when the price was 500. Imagine someone that had only 250 francs when the price was 500. Means that the person can even buy one now, which will also lead to an increase in demand. That's what we're talking about. So the substitution effect. Yes. Here when we talk about substitute, what is meant by substitute? Things that can go in the place of the other. Substitute goods are goods that one can use in the place of the other. So when the price of a particular product falls than that of the other good, and that of the other good remaining the same, consumers will find interest in this product more than those that the prices have remained unchanged. Okay, let's talk about meat and fish. If the price of meat falls and the price of fish remain the same, it means that people no longer demand for fish again. They will demand for meat only. Why? Because the price has increased. No, why? Because the price has fallen, please. Sorry. And now, since they are substitute, they will tend to substitute fish with meat that the price has fallen, telling us that what the demand for meat will be too high. Why? Because its price has fallen. That sums up to the fact that what more is demanded at a lower price. Let's talk about the last point, the law of diminishing marginal utility. The law of diminishing marginal utility says that as more unit of a particular product is consumed, the additional satisfaction derived or the marginal utility tends to fall, everything being equal. Now, please, I want to understand that when you're consuming a product, as you're consuming and going, the additional satisfaction that you're deriving is falling. So economists assume that as that satisfaction is falling, you will be willing to buy again, or you'll be willing to continue buying. You'll be willing to pay more if the supplier or if the producer reduce the price, because you cannot continue buying at a higher price when your satisfaction is falling. So consumers are willing to pay less as additional unit of a product consumed. So consumers are willing to pay less as additional unit of a product consumed, since the marginal utility is falling. It's very simple. You are willing to pay less as you are consuming additional unit. Why? Because your satisfaction that you are deriving from the consumption of an additional unit is falling. Okay, here comes the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe. Please subscribe. Yeah, subscribe. At the bottom right of your screen, you'll find a subscribe there. Click on it. It will change to black. Then you've done it. And please, like I said at the beginning of the video, if you have not been following this channel, go back to the channel. You'll find some question and answer session there, some lectures there, some guides, some orientations there, and you watch, and it will actually help you. Thanks very much for watching. See you in my next video. I'll obviously be dropping something today again or tomorrow. Thank you guys. Bye bye.